Pianos, and we're here with a special piano we don't often get in. I think we consider ourselves lucky to get a piano this nice. It's a Petrof Model 125, built in the Czech Republic in 1996. Petrof being a very well-regarded manufacturer of pianos in Central Europe for, I think, over 150 years now. Very much beloved in Central and Eastern Europe, where for many decades in the 20th century these were amongst the best pianos people could get, alongside some pianos from East Germany like Blüthner and Forster. A very well-respected piano in that part of the world. Not as well known in the United States, but they're better known, I guess, than he used to be many years ago. And we often, at least every so often, get people coming in asking for them. So if you're one of those people who've been waiting for a piano like this, definitely stop by as soon as you can. This is a really nice upright piano. I'm very proud of the way it turned out. I did, I think, all of the work. The finish is not 100% perfect. We'll say 99% because there's one dent here on the case that I was able to find. And I can attempt to patch that. It will be difficult. Otherwise, everything buffed out. Petrof finishes, when you polish them, they just turn out so shiny and beautiful. Same with the brass. This line you see going across the keys is the reflection of the light onto the brass underneath here for the fall board. It's really shiny, and Petrof brass always just turns out really shiny. It's a very stunning piece of furniture, along with the pedals. Just a really, really elegant, polished ebony piano. Something very attractive to have in your home, in addition to being a very satisfying musical instrument to play. Being a 125 centimeter tall upright, it's about 49.5 inches tall, almost 50 inches. About the same size as a Yamaha U2 and many Kawai uprights. It has a Czech action with Renner hammers from Germany. So with the Czech action, it has that somewhat ponderous, it's almost hard feel, but it's not a firm touch. It just feels very substantial. Historically, in my opinion, Petrofs with an all Czech action tended to have a very firm, hard touch. It's not always the case. This one turned out to be not so hard, but it just feels, like you're playing a bigger piano. It almost feels like you're playing a grand piano, in my opinion, just how substantial the action feels on a Petrof upright. And this applies for every Petrof upright I've ever played, even the little short console that we sometimes get in here. But this is a pretty substantial upright. It has Renner hammers from Germany, which is definitely, in my opinion, an upgrade over previous Petrofs, which did not have Renner hammers. Renner being world-renowned in the piano industry as a supplier of excellent world-class parts, including hammers, other parts for the action too. Very high quality felts is what they use in their hammers to produce a very refined sound, and usually a little bit on the brighter side. If you're used to an American piano, especially Steinway and Baldwin, even Mason and Hamlin, you'll be used to a warmer sound than what a typical piano with Renner hammers will have. But if you grew up on a piano that was on the bright side, I think you'll find this to be an extremely refined version of brightness. This piano has a magnificent dynamic range. You can go from very intense louds to very dark and soft when you play softly. Again, something that's difficult for manufacturers to achieve on an upright piano. Generally, the smaller the piano, the more difficult it is to manage, to design the piano to have a wide dynamic range. This one has it. It's really very satisfying to play, and it would be the type of piano I would recommend for someone who wishes they could have a grand piano but must only have an upright. This piano will make you feel very happy at home, I think. And I can also mention that it does have a full set of 88 A graphs for the strings, which is standard issue for Petrof, but not exactly common for upright pianos in general. The way the strings are held in place in most upright pianos is by a pressure bar that bears down on a portion of the strings. It will be in the picture slideshow. And Steinway uprights will have just a pressure bar, and that's standard issue. Yamaha's Kawai's, all sorts of pianos have it, but the A graphs allow the strings to be threaded through metal thingamajigs with holes in them.
Guides.
I'm sorry?
Guides.
Guides, yes. That allow the strings to be very precisely positioned where they need to be. And it's not exactly an easy part to manufacture. It has to be machined. And only the best uprights in the world tend to have it. We see it occasionally on a higher end Yamaha upright like a U7 or UX5. Other European uprights will have them. I think Schimmel's had them, some of them at least. But Petrof has been doing that for a very long time, and I think it's another premium feature for these pianos. And I guess I can also mention the practice mute, standard issue on these pianos. Press it down, move it over to the left, and a strip of felt will go between the hammers and the strings so you can practice very quietly at night. Much more mellow sound, soft sound than the original. So rest assured this piano has practice mute. It also comes with a very nice bench. This is what came with the piano originally, and I think it was purchased with the piano by the original owner in the 90s, because it has the date. It's a Jansen bench. It's really substantial. Jansen being based in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. There you go, date of delivery there. I think that says September 15th, 1995, so just a little bit before this piano was sold. Really high quality bench with, pretty sure that's leather on top. Very good condition, polished up very nicely, and it adjusts up and down using these knobs on the side, which are heavy but move very smoothly. Another sign of Jansen's quality. This bench today would be several $100s. I don't know exactly how much, but this is what was with the piano, and we're including it because it was original to the piano. And for anyone who's interested, we still have the Petrof key cover for the felts that unfolds with the Petrof symbol. I don't think anyone ever uses them, but you're welcome to be the first. So, a lot of things that really make this piano attractive. I'll rate the tone. It's hard to say. As I said, if you play it loudly, it has a very intense, bright sound. If you play it softly, it gets really dark and mellow sounding and warm sounding. That works out to be a 5 on our scale from 1 to 10, right in the middle, a neutral tone. Just well-balanced, versatile. You can play all sorts of music on this piano and it just works for you. Although I should add that because Petrof does have a different tradition of piano making, you'll get a different sound out of this piano compared to just any Yamaha upright, any piano made in Japan, any piano made in the United States. Even pianos made in Germany, in my opinion, may sound different than this. They, in my opinion, tend to have a darker sound in their tradition. I think very suitable for classical music. anything Beethoven onward, I think works very well on this piano. It's a little difficult to describe why it's different. It just is different, and you can hear rounded, warm, darker sounds that can come out of this piano, especially when you play it softly. But as I said, wide dynamic range, bright when loud, warm when soft. It gets a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10 for the tone. And I guess likewise for the touch, it feels very smooth. I regulated it, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I was just making all the adjustments in the parts of the action. Everything cooperated. It was a dream to regulate. Just everything got exactly where I wanted it to go. And it plays really excellently. It's just, in my opinion, another sign of the quality of this piano. And I'll give the touch a rating of a 5, also on a scale from 1 to 10. It feels substantial if you need to play something very loud and crashing and with big chords, but if you need to play very delicately, stuff with very small parts, it feels really smooth and almost fast. So just depending on how you play it, it can feel firmer or lighter almost. It gets a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10 for the touch. So it's something very agreeable, I think. I would definitely encourage you to come out and try this piano for yourself. It, of course, comes with our 10-year warranty, all parts and labor, and our normal lifetime 100% trade-up guarantee. For the price that you pay for this piano, or any other piano in our store, if you should choose a different piano, that will remain the trade-in price as long as you make sure the piano is in tune twice a year by a professional technician, and you keep the piano away from extremes of humidity. It's very crucial that you make sure the humidity environment of the piano is not going to be changing too much, because that could hurt the soundboard, and that's not good. And certainly for a piano of this quality, I would strongly encourage you to ensure that you have a constant humidity in the environment of the piano. So definitely come out, try this out for yourself. It's a really wonderful upright, but if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email.